How do you handle rejection? It's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it? No matter who you are or what you do, it's a universal truth that rejection is a natural part of life, especially in competitive environments. But how we perceive and respond to rejection can make all the difference. Imagine if we could reframe our perception of rejection not as a negative, but as a tool for personal growth, learning, and motivation. What if we could transform the sting of rejection into a stepping stone towards success? Rejection can be an opportunity to reassess and realign, to build resilience, learn from feedback, and refocus on our goals. It can fuel our motivation, redirect us to better opportunities, and teach us to detach our worth from external validation. The key lies in our perspective, and in reframing rejection, we can find the strength to persist and persevere. Remember, rejection isn't a dead end, it's simply a detour on the road to success. Firstly, rejection often comes with a gift, feedback. This feedback, whether explicit or tucked subtly between the lines, holds a wealth of information for us to learn from. It gives us a lens to see what we may have missed, what we could do differently, or how we might approach things from a fresh perspective. Think of it this way. Imagine you're an explorer navigating through uncharted territories. Each rejection is a landmark, a signpost that says, "Not this way, try another route." It's not a dead end, but a detour, leading you on a path you may not have considered before. In each rejection, there are clues, hints, and insights to why it happened. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and each piece of feedback helps you see the bigger picture. It could be about your approach, your timing, or even your presentation. The key is to be open, to be curious, and to be willing to look at these pieces, however they may fall. Asking for feedback can be daunting, I know. It's like inviting someone to point out your flaws. But remember, it's not about you as a person. It's about the action, the behavior, or the situation. It's a critique, not a criticism. It's not a judgment of who you are, but an assessment of what you did. And that, my friends, is a crucial distinction. Feedback, especially when it's tough, shines a light on areas you can work on, which is a powerful tool for growth. It's like having a personal trainer for your development, pushing you, challenging you, and ultimately making you stronger. So, when you face rejection, don't turn away from it. Instead, lean into it. Ask, what can I learn from this? Invite feedback with an open mind and an open heart. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your journey forward. Rejections are not failures, they are lessons. They are not setbacks, they are setups for a comeback. They are not endings, they are beginnings. They are not about losing, they are about learning. And the more you learn, the more you grow, and the closer you get to your goals. So, don't shy away from feedback. Embrace it as your path to improvement. Next, let's talk about resilience. It's a quality that we often associate with toughness, but it's much more than that. Resilience is about our capacity to handle life's ups and downs, to bounce back from adversity, and to keep going even when the going gets tough. And guess what? Rejection is a natural part of that process. When we experience rejection, it can feel like a heavy blow. But each time we face this discomfort and learn to cope with it, we're actually building our emotional resilience. The more we expose ourselves to rejection, the less fearful we become of it. We start to see it not as a catastrophic event, but as a part of our journey, a stepping stone on our path to success. So, the next time you face rejection, remember this. You're not failing, you're growing, you're building resilience. And in the long run, this resilience can become your greatest ally. Remember, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Rejection can also help us refocus. Many might not see it this way, but rejection can be a powerful lens through which we reassess our goals. Sometimes, being turned down is just the jolt we need to think more critically about the path we're on. Is it the right one? Does it align with our values, our passions, our dreams? Or have we been chasing someone else's idea of success? Rejections, as uncomfortable as they are, can serve as signposts, guiding us to question our direction. They can help us pause, reevaluate, and adjust our sails. Perhaps we've been aiming for a goal that isn't truly ours, or maybe we've been pursuing a path that isn't the best fit for us. So, the next time you face a rejection, don't let it pull you down. Instead, allow it to help you refocus. Use each rejection as a moment to reflect on what you truly want and realign your efforts if necessary. Many people use rejection as fuel for their fire. You see, rejection can be a powerful motivator. It's a challenge, a dare if you will, that sparks the urge to prove the doubters wrong. It pushes us to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and dive back into the fray with renewed vigor. When we encounter rejection, it's natural to feel a sting, but we can harness that energy, channeling it into a driving force to work harder, to strive for excellence. The aim is not just to meet our original goals, but to surpass them, to show the world and ourselves just what we're capable of. Rejection can also foster perseverance. It's a test of our resolve, our grit. Overcoming these hurdles can help us develop a sense of purpose, a resilience that can lead us to greater success down the line. Remember, every no brings us a step closer to a yes. So, let rejection be your motivation, not your downfall. Sometimes, rejection is simply redirection. This is our mantra for today. Let's delve into how rejection could be the compass guiding us towards better opportunities. When we face rejection, it's tempting to view it as a roadblock, a dead end. But what if we saw it as a detour instead? What if, instead of a closed door, we saw it as a redirection towards a door we hadn't noticed before? Imagine walking down a path you've meticulously planned, only to find a road closed sign. You could turn back, or you could find another way around. This new route might take you through uncharted territory, but it could also lead to a destination more enriching, more fulfilling than your initial plan. Rejection, in many ways, is that road closed sign. It's unexpected, it's disappointing, but it might just be the universe's way of nudging you towards a path better suited for you. Let's consider the story of a writer who faced countless rejections from publishers. Discouraged but undeterred, they decided to self-publish their novel. The book, released on a less traveled path, became a bestseller. The rejection from traditional publishers was a redirection towards a route that proved to be more rewarding. Such instances are not rare. Time and again, we hear stories of individuals who, after facing rejection, found opportunities they wouldn't have considered otherwise. Opportunities that turned out to be better than what they initially pursued. Therefore, next time you face rejection, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what other paths can I take? What doors have I not yet knocked on? Is there a better fit for me out there? Remember, every end is a new beginning. Every closed door, a nudge towards an open one. Every no, a step closer to a yes. So, embrace the redirection. Turn the disappointment of rejection into the excitement of exploration. The unknown might seem intimidating, but who knows what treasures it holds. Rejection is not a full stop, but a comma, a pause before you continue your journey. And who knows? The path you find after a detour might just be the one you were meant to walk. Remember, rejection might just be your ticket to something better. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Lastly, let's talk about personal identity and persistence. It's critical to remember that rejection is not a measure of your worth. It's a common misconception to internalize rejection, to let it seep into your self-perception and influence how you view yourself. But this is a flawed perspective. Rejection is not an indicator of your value or abilities. Instead, it's a temporary setback, a mismatch of timing, circumstances, or compatibility. With every no you encounter, think of it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. It's a momentary pause, not a permanent halt. It's a detour, not a dead end. It's crucial to separate the outcome from your identity. Who you are is not defined by how many times you've been rejected, but how many times you've stood back up, dusted yourself off, and kept going. This brings us to persistence. Persistence is the art of not giving up. It's the unyielding determination to keep going despite the odds, to keep trying despite the setbacks. It's an essential quality to cultivate, especially when dealing with rejection. Remember, every rejection brings you one step closer to success. It's a learning experience, a chance to grow, to improve, to become stronger. And with every rejection, you become more resilient, more determined, and more persistent. Consider some of the most successful people in the world. They've all faced rejection. They've all been told no at some point. But what sets them apart is their ability to persist. They didn't let rejection deter them. They didn't let it define them. Instead, they used it as fuel to keep going, to keep trying, to keep pushing forward. They understood that rejection was not a reflection of their worth, but a stepping stone towards their success. And this is the mindset we should all strive to cultivate. So, remember this. Rejection is a part of life. It's a part of the journey. But it doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond to it, how you bounce back from it, and how you use it to propel yourself forward. So, separate who you are from the rejection itself and keep pushing forward. Persistence is the name of the game. So, how can we turn rejection into a positive? Let's recap. We leverage rejection by learning from feedback, building resilience, and refocusing on our goals. We use it as a fuel for motivation, seeing it not as a roadblock, but as a pointer towards better opportunities. We detach rejection from our personal identity and practice persistence, remembering that setbacks are often stepping stones to success. Remember, rejection isn't the end of the world. It's simply an opportunity for reflection, growth, and redirection.